Hey, this is Sinishek from XOAP with a short video on how to save costs with our new AVD Manager. First of all, what you can see on the overview page is the current monthly run rate and the estimated, or we call it would-be cost if no optimizations were in place. So let's see how we get to this here. So first thing, very important, is if you go to host pool and settings, you can go to disk tiering here below. You can define what happens to session hosts that are deallocated or running. So in this case, the default value for deallocated disks is standard HDD. And when they are running, we are converting them to premium SSD. Another thing that's important is that you can use for specific use cases, maybe like dev environments or something you want to hand over to an external contractor for usage or whatever you come up with, is the cost budget per host pool. So here you can define a monthly budget for the pool, and you can flip the switch here and say, if the budget is reached, then please auto shut down all the hosts and deallocate them. This should give you already a good starting point to improve the cost usage. Another thing that's very important is the auto scaling capability. So per host pool, you can define a scaling plan, which is very easy to do. So you create a scaling plan. Then you define the active days when the scaling plan should be in place. And you can define here the ramp up peak times and ramp down times and off peak times when your session hosts should be available for users. As well, you can also define what happens with such desktops here in this pool. In addition to that, for specifically like personal host pools, you can also define what happens during a specific phase, like ramp up phase. So for example, if a user disconnects here, you can define a certain amount of time what should happen. You can either deallocate, hibernate, or keep running if you like. And you can also define what happens when a user signs out. And then, in addition to that, you can define that, for example, on at the weekends, the session host should be deallocated, and you can also define additional holiday overrides, either by specifying them manually or by just typing in your country code, saving this, and then you will get like those publicly available holidays here added to the scaling plan. And what you also see here is like the demand estimate. So based on the amount of session hosts you have running, you will also see in combination with the scaling plan you have in place when a specific amount of VMs will be running. Another thing very important is if you look at profiles and apps, you can configure FSLogix profiles containers. And here you can also define auto scaling for the storage. So you can define here, for example, what happens if a specific capacity is reached, how much to grow, how much to shrink for a certain usage scenario. And this gives you additional capabilities to either or to further improve the cost of your Azure Virtual Desktop environment. That's it for this short video. I hope you like it. See you very soon. Bye-bye.